Rita and Roman Pogosyan are refugees from Baku. They live in the village of Karin, about 25 kilometers from Yerevan. They got married on the day when the Sumgait massacres happened on February 27.
Then early in the morning we learned. My aunt lived in Sumgait. On the day of our wedding, her husband stayed at home. He came and told us, this and this has happened. You should not go back to Sumgait. This is how we learned this kind of bad things. So it began with a bad thing.
While the family was trying to sell the house, Rita, pregnant, was sent away to Yerevan.
The situation worsened very much. I was pregnant. They were afraid, and they told me, let's send you.
They did not manage to sell the house. The child was born dead. Their life in Armenia began with this row of tragedies. They now have 3 children. They get a poverty allowance from the state, sometimes accomplished by a scarce payment for occasional work.
There are 5 of us, my wife and me and 3 children. The help from Paros is 15,000. There was a short period when we were excluded from the program, but then they restored us. Well, there is no income at all, but we somehow get along. When work happens, we do it and get money. I work for 1,000 in some places and for 2,000 in another. That's it. There are times when I don't earn at all. We depend on Paros.
The Pogosyans have 1,200 meters of land, but they do not cultivate. It was once an apple garden. There's no irrigation water for already 10 years, and the garden dried up. And having abandoned her own piece of land, Rita does field work for day pay in the neighboring villages.
We work one day and do not for the next 10. How can one get along for 10 days with these 2,000 drums? We get Paros 15,000 drums and have to pay for electricity immediately.
Their children were born in Armenia but suffer all the difficulties refugees do, added up by the overall social hardship.
The children's books cost money. This year I have paid already some 15,000 only for my girls' books. People give me old pair of boots. I tell him to put on. He says, "Mom, how can I put them on? They are big." Well, I thought, that's what we have. They understand we don't have, and they don't demand much. They know I can't create. As if for a piece of bread, you should at least have the flour for it. That's how we say now, at least to have bread.
In hard days, Roman does not sit without work. He walks 10 to 15 kilometers collecting scrap metal.
We hand it over to get at least vegetable oil, sugar, and meat, as children say, is only at New Year and birthdays. Sometimes we don't even have presents for the children, saying we will buy food instead. Shortly put, we are in hardship. We can, for instance, get ill someday and we can't afford going to the doctor in terms of the money. That's the way we leave our hopes with the God.
That's how the Pogosyan family lives by our side.